really have enough. Thank you, Margarita, for remembering that. I had already forgotten. Thank you for that. So welcome everybody to this special Academic Senate meeting on December 20th. It's 3:07 and I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. I will remind you all, if you have taken a look at the agenda, it is a short agenda. And at this moment in time, I would like for us to, by acclamation, unless there is an objection, to approve the agenda as posted. Seeing some head nods. All right. I can share my screen so that we all can look at the board docs. And I'm not going to click the leave button. I'm going to click the share button. You have no idea how many times I click the leave button instead. So we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. You will notice here too that we have not posted meeting minutes on this agenda, and that's because the meeting minutes that need approving, they're long and they're pretty complicated. They're from a very complicated meeting, and I did not want that conversation to happen with only a few senators. So we will just keep that for the January 25th meeting, which will be our very first meeting of the spring. And here I have to practice it, 2023 year. So I did, however, so there's no meeting minutes, but I did, however, include for you all a couple of information items. The first one here, this is a report put together by the California Chancellor's Office. It is a very long document. So if you have insomnia at any point over the winter break, you can check out this 55-page report that is, in fact, looking at a number of assembly bills that we must be in compliance with. And some of those assembly bills, I think we are very happy for. They include things like student equity, but there are a number of assembly bills that are quite controversial, particularly on our own campus, namely AB 705, and here's my air quotes, cleanup bill of AB 1705. So if you wonder where the Chancellor's Office stands on a number of those assembly bills, this document is really important for that, because it does try to explain it. It also explains things like how we're tracking attendance now, especially online. It includes a little bit of information on a pretty controversial bill, AB 928, which we will hear more about in January from Laura Castro. So check it out. Check it out, all things assembly bills, because remember, we can be legislated too, and we are. And if you, when we get to the sabbatical proposals, you'll see that a lot of those proposals deal with the consequences of one of those assembly bills. Kim, did you have a clarifying question?
I just had a question about when we call for public comment.
I forgot.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we did that.
My apologies. Noticing we have no members of the public here. My apologies, but is there a public comment? Ellen, where's your cat? Maybe the cat wants to make a public comment. No. All right, my apologies for that. I'm so eager to get back to my grading, clearly. Hi. Hello, Maria.
Thank you so much. I guess I am considered a member of the public, and so I
didn't see you. My apologies. You weren't on my Zoom screen. Sorry.
That's okay. I came in a few minutes late, just to be fair, to your not seeing me. But I did want to take the opportunity, since you offered, to share that something I'm going to send an email about shortly, is that one of the departments who was awarded a full-time tenure track position earlier this semester has declined to pursue that position this year, has requested to pull it. As a result of that, we discussed in cabinet, and so we would like to offer that position to the department that was next on our list, on our priority list, which is English. And so we've contacted them only a few minutes ago, I want to say, and offering them the position. They've accepted that, and so I was going to let the entire faculty know about that, so that, you know, in full transparency, when we end up with 2 English hires next fall, folks are aware of why this happened. So I'm using this as an opportunity to share with all of you that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Villagomez. We really appreciate that. I had heard a little bit about that as well. So thank you for sharing that with our group. And again, my apologies for getting about public comment. I think I got over eager. And you would think I would know how to do this because I run a CEC meeting every week, but so my apologies. All right, so that takes us through, or we've had our public comment, we've had the first information item. Again, take a look at it if you are interested in things like assembly bills and how they impact us. If you want to get active in our ongoing efforts to inform legislators what it's like to be on a community college, because many of these bills are created by folks who have never stepped foot on a community college, I will direct you to the ASCCC's website. They have a work group who's very active, and you can too get involved. The other information item that I want to share with you all is really one that just is a joy to share with you all, and that is that our sabbatical leave and faculty recognition committee has put forward our campus's nomination for the Haywood Award for Dr. Melissa Menendez, and all of her good and ongoing work, both in the ad hoc anti-racist hiring committee, as well as this new pilot project. I know that I'm involved in it, and that is RAICES, which is a first-year experience program that is really focused for our Latinx student population. And it really is a tremendous amount of work, a lot of attention, a lot of time, and we really appreciate Dr. Menendez's work. And I likewise am appreciative of Dr. Justina Buller for putting in her nomination. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Our campus has actually received the Haywood Award a few times, so you never know. So wish good thoughts and good vibes for Dr. Menendez, as we, at least at a local level, can really recognize her hard work. So thank you all for that. And that now brings us to our one action item of the day, and it's a consent item. Speaking of the Sabbatical and Faculty Recognition Committee, this is a proposal that has been voted on and vetted by the Sabbatical and Faculty Leave Recognition Committee for putting forward 5 sabbatical leave proposals. 2 of them are for a semester only. Those would be the ones by Sarah Boggs and Patrick O'Brien. Those are for just 1 semester. And the other 3 are for a full academic year. And it is timely that I mentioned all of those assembly bills, because a number of these proposals are dealing with the aftermath of AB 705 and AB 1705, particularly the proposal put forward by Sarah in the English department and Marit put together in the ESL department. Likewise, too, there are all kinds of new innovative technologies that you'll see here in these proposals that are the consequence of a post-pandemic, or soon, we hope, post-pandemic world, namely around teaching music in a high flex modality, which is very exciting. We know that James Mooney's been very active in that, and as well as things like dealing with new data analysis. So all kinds of interesting projects are here. I want to just recognize the work of Darren and the rest of the committee. I know it's a lot of work to read through these proposals, and there were many, and to then somehow whittle them down to just a few is very difficult. And so you have here just the summaries of these projects. So again, I want to really give my appreciation to the committee for being so thoughtful in their work. It is a consent item. And now I will turn to our parliamentarian. Is this the point in time where I ask for a motion for folks to approve the proposals that have been vetted and put forward by us by the Sabbatical and Faculty Recognition Committee?
Yes, although I think we often would say, does anybody want to move it from consent to discussion? So, I mean, if
We can do
someone,
that.
so that's like the cleanest with a consent from what
Okay,
I do.
perfect. I will admit, we do have 0 consent items in CAC, so that's new to me. So now I leave it to you, senators.
So hearing no motion, now you can move to approve it.
No one. I'm sorry, Kim, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, since nobody wants to move it to discussion, we can go ahead and
okay.
have a motion to approve this consent item.
I motion
Then
to approve it, Tricia.
Thank you,
Unless it's too early.
Tricia. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Who was that?
Kathy,
Sound like Ben beat me to.
Ben beat you to it? That Ben, he's very fast on the trigger there. All right, let me go ahead and stop sharing so I can see you all. All right, so we will do a roll call vote since this is on Zoom. So this is the moment in the meeting where we have to find the unmute button, which can be a challenge in real time. All right, so I'm just going to go by what I see here on my screen, and I will take notes on who voted what. We'll start with Kim.
I vote yes.
All right, do you want to do Kathy while she's in your hand?
Sure. Kathy.
Yes,
Thank you, Kathy.
Oh, and I'm
Ellen.
gonna do my proxy vote too. Juan gave me his proxy.
Oh,
vote.
you have Juan's proxy vote? And how does Juan vote?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so we have 3 there. Ellen,
Yes.
thank you, Ellen. Chris,
Yes.
thank you. Russell,
Yes.
thank you. Trisha,
Yes.
thank you. Ben,
Yes.
thank you. Elizabeth,
Yes.
thank you. Ruth,
Yes.
thank you, Ruth. And Anna.
Yes.
I hardly knew it was you because I didn't see your draft. This was very disconcerting for me. All right, I think that is.
Sorry.
Did I get everybody? I believe so. So the motion does carry, and that is excellent news. And I will thank you all for making the time for a special meeting. It was important. This was a timely matter because now that it has been approved by us, it will move on to the Board of Trustees. And their schedule is a little bit different than ours. And when they will meet next is before we will meet next. So it was quite important to make sure that we could not hold up the line, so to speak, on these proposals. And it also helps department chairs and planning for their schedules. And it just maybe gives folks a sigh of relief too. So we congratulate all of the folks whose proposals have been put forward. We are envious as well. We look forward, of course, to the hard work and the results of all that hard work that they will share with us when their sabbatical leave is over and they give a presentation at both the Board of Trustees meeting as well as the Senate. So thank you all for that. And that takes us to, we have one discussion item, and it is the chance for us here on the leadership end of the Senate to, I think I'm going to take some ownership and formally apologize for inadvertently violating the Brown Act. It is something that is not even a gray area in my opinion. We cannot vote on anything that is not in a meeting. We can use things like Google Forms for all kinds of other reasons, but it cannot be for anything that is a formal vote. I will acknowledge that the Google Form idea was an attempt to make things easier, but that is never, it's not a good reason to obviously violate the Brown Act. So my apologies for that as well. Truthfully, I haven't quite been at my best this week. But I have learned from it, and I value folks for helping to mentor me as well. Clearly I need help in that area too. I forgot public comment today, so thank you all for your patience. Ken, did you want to say anything, or was I able to cover it?
Well, I took my own notes. So everything Tara says, I echo. I am also really sorry about this extra time. I know how busy it is for everybody. There were many reasons in the moment that led to the wrong decision and not taking the time to actually double check. And so I too have really learned. I'm sorry it falls on me as parliamentarian about not knowing the Brown Act better. But I also want a personal apology to Ellen in particular, but to all of you that I was defensive at first. Instead of saying, thank you for pointing this out, I need to investigate this. I was rushing, trying to meet a bunch of different needs. I don't even need the excuses, just say thank you. I need to investigate this. And so that was a big mistake. And that's not the kind of person or leader that I want to be. And so I'm sorry, and I am really going to learn from it. And I need to seek out more help. I mean, I did look at the 50-page thing. It's overwhelming. I'm bad with rules. I'm going to make flashcards. I do think it takes a village, and the village spoke up and made sure we were in compliance. So I'm grateful for that. And again, I'm sorry for my initial response, and I'm going to make every effort to not do that. So thank you. And thanks for your time, you guys.
Thank you, Kim. It is a discussion, so if anybody would like to raise their virtual hand, or we're so small, you can just unmute yourself. Be honest, are some of you grading right now? No. That's me. All right. Well, again, I thank you all for making the time today. I know it is a very busy time. For those of you who might be in a similar situation as I and are still grading, we can do it. It always somehow does get done. So I'm going to put on some more coffee and get this work done. But again, I really just thank you all for making the time today to do this vote on the sabbatical proposals. It is important. We want to value our colleagues, and I want to value each and every one of you. So I really do thank you for that. And at this moment in time, I'm going to go ahead and by acclamation, call this meeting to adjournment unless anybody wants to stay on. And Trisha's like, oh no.
Have a great holiday, you
Feel-
guys.
Yeah, good holidays, and hope you feel
too.
better, Tara.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tara.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Happy holidays, all.
Thank you, Russell. All right, we did it.